What's up, the squad? Back with another video. I seen that title was going down. Make sure you hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. I apologize, y'all. I apologize. I'm. One thing about this, it's pretty crazy because I got back late today. I got back late tonight. Y'all know, a lot of times, sometimes I record my videos, and I know y'all probably be like, "What are you thinking?" I record my videos sometimes pretty late. Right now it's 1:56 in the morning. Not gonna lie. It's 1:56. But one thing about it though is that I still get it out. I still get the videos. And I'm like a what do you call it? Like, what am I considered? Like a I don't know. What do they call it? Like a night owl, right? Something like that. If I'm not mistaken. I feel like that's how I am. I ain't gonna lie. I feel like if that's the word, I think that I'm more so or the words. I think I'm more so like that, and that's why. I don't know. I've always been like that, but y'all got it right here. And there's some people that I know that's just like that. When I used to drop my videos this late, I'm telling y'all. But y'all got it right here. Following President Trump's push to investigate Ilhan Omar for becoming a multi-millionaire while in office, Omar has amended her financial disclosure saying she's only worth up to $90K. So Ilhan Omar then came out, y'all. It's literally all over the internet now that she's saying that she's only worth $90K. She's not a millionaire, billionaire, anything like that, any of that sort. And she hasn't touched that money at all.
You know, our country's at a tipping point. We could go bad. We're at a tipping point. I don't know if people mind me saying that, but I'm saying it. We could go one way or the other, and we're going to go the wrong way if we keep taking in garbage into our country. Ilhan Omar is garbage. She's garbage. Her friends are garbage. These aren't people that work. These aren't people that say, let's go, come on, let's make this place great. These are people that do nothing but complain. They complain. And from where they came from, they got nothing. You know, they came from paradise, and they said, this isn't paradise. But when they come from hell...
When I tell y'all...
You know, our country's at a...
I feel like I'm on one tonight. Let me calm down. When I tell y'all that this is absolutely insane, it's absolutely insane. I know for a fact, I done probably seen... And the crazy thing is, I was looking over some stuff on X, and I was seeing different things. But then I gotta mute this. It'd be some crazy stuff popping up. I had to mute. You know, you gotta mute like the pictures. People was wild stuff. But when I tell y'all, I had looked first, and I had seen, you know, Ilhan, you know, coming out, you know, saying this, saying that, you know, claiming. But I started to notice that so many people, and I absolutely love when people share, when people talk about it, when people put it out there, because it wakes other people up. That's obviously been brainwashed about what's going on. Says Ilhan Omar blames accounting error for claiming she was a multimillionaire. Y'all want to know why she's doing this? Because she see how bad and how serious things are getting. She's seeing Tim Wall. She's seeing how bad things, and because you gotta think about it. Just think about this. We've been talking about this for how long with Ilhan Omar and others? We've been talking about this for how long? Ilhan has not said anything, not one time. So for all the people that saying, "Oh, nothing ain't gonna happen," this, that, and the other, trust me, it's a real good reason that she's coming out and saying this right now. I'm telling y'all, I feel like stuff is starting to get done. Stuff is definitely starting to get done. You have right here, this Fox News says, now insists she's not a multimillionaire, claiming a tax filing error incorrectly inflated her net worth. An amended filing by Omar shows net worth up to just $95,000, not $30 million she previously reported.
Congresswoman Ilhan Omar insists she's not a multi-millionaire, and she's now offering an explanation in air quotes there about why her financial disclosures say she and her husband have a net worth of $30 million. Chanley Painter is here with the details. Hey, Chanley.
Hey, Charlie. So get this. The Minnesota representative, she's doubling down that she's not a millionaire after her income disclosures sent shockwaves through Capitol Hill and calls from the president for a fraud investigation. So Representative Ilhan Omar now insisting the initial numbers in the disclosure filed last May were completely off base, which was an accounting that showed her net worth of up to $30 million. But now an amended filing shows shared assets with her husband of up to just $95,000. A spokesperson saying this, quote, the amended disclosure confirms what we've all said all along. The Congresswoman is not a millionaire. Well, the original disclosure signified a stark increase in income, listing that Omar and her husband held assets valued between $6 million and $30 million, a roughly 3,500% jump in net worth from 2023 to 2024, many accrediting it to her husband's two businesses, a winery and a venture capital firm. Reportedly, aides of Omar said she did review the filing before submission, but didn't flag the errors. But Omar's lawyer is blaming the reliance of accountants for the error. Well, now she's saying that she did amend the disclosure voluntarily as soon as this discrepancy was identified.
Ilhan be full of it, bro. I'm telling y'all. Ilhan, she's definitely full of it. I feel like you definitely know. You definitely gotta know, y'all. Y'all already know. I can almost tell y'all right now. Things ain't looking good for Ilhan Omar. I'm gonna tell y'all right now. This is nothing. I'm just speaking. I'm telling y'all right now. Things are not looking good for Ilhan. If she came out and she's saying stuff like that, and she's sitting there and still lying, and she's standing up, and y'all probably thinking like, oh, she just said like this is accounting error, this that. Trust me, it's bigger than what y'all think. Pause. I'm telling y'all.
They're being impacted by these Democrats who have allowed the fraudsters to run wild in my state. And by the way, when we talk about Ms. Omar, I mean, she went from $65,000 net worth that she was reporting on her congressional disclosures to reporting over $30 million in net worth in just a few years. And guess what? Now she comes out and says, that was a mistake on our disclosures. I just took a quick look at it and missed it. You know, not only should her accountant be fired, but that girl should be fired, and she does not deserve to be in Congress. Quite frankly, if she is discovered to be involved in any of this fraud personally, that she benefited from it, even by her actions of promoting it and trying to resist investigations, she should be held accountable to the fullest extent.
Let me tell y'all something. If y'all feel like this is like the accounting that's doing this, if y'all feel like, and this is the thing with me. If y'all see all the Somalians that's getting caught, arrested, that we've been talking about for I don't know how long, honestly, it's been going over for over 10 years. But we've been talking about it for, a couple years or so. I have. I don't know about everybody else. Can't speak for everybody else. I have. And not just with Ilhan. But speaking on Ilhan, and y'all seeing how bad it is, and seeing the Somalians, seeing this, and come on now. I mean, like, you just gotta know. First of all, she's Somalian. That should tell you everything. She's the godmother of what's going on. Of what's said. People gotta lock in. Says Ilhan Omar is now claiming she's only worth between $18,000 and $95,000. I'm telling y'all, she's full of it, bro. Can't nobody tell me no different.
Hi, Congresswoman
I'm telling
Omar.
y'all. Just check out her whole demeanor in this interview.
How Trump's economy has failed the American people, but I think the American people really want to know how you went from a negative $65,000 before coming into Congress to over $30 million in just 7 years.
My disclosure is public now.
Yeah, it is. And so a lot of people now are looking into that and finding S. Crew Winery, a winery that doesn't actually seem to exist. Is that a real winery, or?
Do you all actually look at and read things, or do you just ask silly questions?
Well, it's listed in the
I feel like if she's saying that right now, ask silly questions, then she would have never even said nothing about her account, her money, anything like that. That's how you know she's full of it. This obviously was in the past of her saying this. Y'all see how she acted, how she was acting, towards everybody that said something about it. Now, I'm telling y'all,
Financial
bro.
disclosure. So can you explain it?
It's all
Because
out
we
there
have
in front of
a lot
y'all.
questions about it, and things just aren't adding up. There's no real phone number. There's no real location.
Why did you want to bite some wine?
Probably not from you, to be honest.
I'm telling y'all. And we gonna get to the wine part. We definitely gonna get to the wine part. But check this out right here. It says right here, and again, people continue, and there's multiple posts. I'm honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if y'all seen. I really wouldn't be surprised if y'all seen something about this already, on the news, because I feel like, again, this is something that is truly. It's not so much of big, but it's more so of Ilhan Omar is telling on herself. She's telling herself. Y'all probably trying to figure out. She's blaming on the cow narratives. You're literally making it worse for you. If we seeing it, y'all already know. Y'all already know they seeing it. That's common sense. Check it out right here. Fox News.
It turns out that a core group of Somali Americans or refugees, whatever they were at that point in time, figured out how to game the system, and they figured out that fraud paid, corruption paid, crime paid, because they weren't held accountable. And so they kept doing it until ultimately the house of cards fell down.
No, you couldn't be more right, Laura. And frankly, Ilhan Omar found the blueprint pretty early. She's clearly been in this for personal gain. She's made tens of millions of dollars since she's entered Congress. And what do you know? We find that her friends are getting rich in the process too. But like I said, this is intentional. It's by design. Ilhan Omar was the individual in Congress who introduced this legislation that ultimately led to Feeding Our Future being able to defraud $250 million. And you gotta laugh, because just the other day, she's complaining, well, it's because we don't have guardrails in place, and that's why these third parties were able to go steal from taxpayers. Well, Ilhan, you were in charge of setting up the guardrails.
That's because when it comes down to, me personally, the top ones that we talked about, Ilhan Omar, Tim Walz, Mayor Fry, and Keith Ellison, and there's many others, but that's the top ones that I've been, talking about for a while now. They obviously, we obviously see what's going down. We obviously see what's going on with Ilhan Omar, what they're doing. They're literally teaching these Somalians to do this. And y'all know who gets in trouble. They don't get in trouble for it. Those Somalians get arrested half of the time. Then when they do get arrested, they either let out, or those same individuals, again, either let out, or they end up and they have a court date, or they got this, they got that, and they'll flee the country. They'll leave. They got what they want and they'll leave. I'm telling y'all, it's very, very wild of what they're doing. That's why I think I said yesterday or before that day, that real Minnesotans don't approve of what's going on with Ilhan Omar and Tim Walz. I'm telling y'all, starting with them. This is what I'm talking about right here, and she, obviously talking about, you want to buy some wine, but Benny Johnson got it right here. It says Ilhan Omar caught deleted evidence of fraud after Benny Johnson exposed her winery that values in $5 million in 1 year. Pretty wild. Check it out.
I want to thank all of you for your interest in Ilhan Omar's fake ghost winery. The memes have been hilarious. And what's also hilarious is that we were able to trick the corporate media into finally covering this fraud. Here's Forbes saying, we don't think that Ilhan Omar's fake winery grew by 10,000% in value in a single year, given the fact that it's not real, that they haven't posted on social media since 2023. They don't make any wine, they don't have a physical location, and they were sued for fraud for literally being a fake winery inside of the lawsuit that we read through here. Ilhan Omar's third husband, no relation, was sued for millions of dollars because the winery was in fact fraudulent. And for all of you who wondered what happened in this lawsuit, they settled out of court. So what does that tell you exactly? Also, many people were asking, how can a practicing Muslim own a winery? Well, the answer to that is she can't. Get a load of this. No, Muslims are not allowed to drink wine or any other form of alcohol according to mainstream Islamic teaching. This is, of course, the style of law that Ilhan Omar practices and is very proud of. Yet, is she allowed maybe to own a winery? Here's a good example. Could she? Maybe she doesn't drink it. She just needs to own it. No, Muslims are not permitted to own wineries or any businesses involved in product selling, profiting from alcohol, according to mainstream Islamic teaching. This isn't the first time that people have said no. Fraud claims, wine money, Sharia, ethical storms around Ilhan Omar's husband and her. How does she own a winery? This probe had better look into some of the evidence of Ilhan Omar's winery before it disappears. In our original video, we showed you a website that Ilhan Omar's winery appeared on. The winery, called Est Crew LLC, found here at this strange empty address, had a website. We read it to you, and we showed you the URL. There's the URL right there. That URL, now, if you go and you copy it and paste it right here, it's the exact same URL, you can see now it's gone. The entire page has been scrubbed. Now there's no more. Est Crew LLC. Let's go ahead and put it into the Wayback Machine. Maybe we can just find it here. You know, the Wayback Machine has everything logged, right? Well, don't have actually a lot logged for this, but here's a ping. Let's go ahead and find it. And we get nothing. And it's not just us getting nothing. Get a load of this. And Newsmax last night, they had a report where they tried to do the same thing.
Anyway, it gets weirder. Up until yesterday, Benny Johnson was able to find their supposed inventory bottles and all the things they have, their office location, and a bunch of other information on the business. But as of today, those sites are totally shut down. And any mention of their website has been wiped off the internet. I'm talking gone. The Wayback Machine, all these other crafty little archive sites, everything is gone. Like deleted the root service. I called my computer buddy, Jim. He couldn't even find it. It was some fancy AR jargon bot machine for recovery. I don't even know who was explaining it to me. He couldn't even find it.
So what happened? And who has the power to shut off the Wayback Machine? And maybe they're just broken. I mean, some people are reporting that there's outages there, but I haven't been able to get it to work at all today. So what's going on with Ilhan Omar's fraudulent winery? Are we over the target?
Me personally, she's cooked. And she's cooked just by the way. I feel like it's way too many things. Y'all got to think. It's not only the winery. It's everything. It's what she had going on with Tim Walz. It's what she got on with Fried. You know, it's what she got on with Ellison. It's what she got on with all these Somalians. And her being at the top about it. I'm telling y'all right now, we're not seeing what they're seeing, what they're investigating. I'm telling y'all, we just seeing some of it. I'm going to tell y'all right now, we're just seeing some of it. We're not really seeing in that. And I wish I could. We ain't seeing too much, though. But I know for a fact it's way more than what we obviously are seeing. I'm going to tell y'all right now, she probably don't even know what they know and what she's doing. I'm telling y'all. I truly feel like, especially with JD Vance and what they're doing in California right now, I feel like Nick Shirley definitely put a bright light on it to where, I'm telling y'all, she's cooked. Me personally, I think so. This one right here is definitely spot on. I'm not going to lie. It's just been 100. Check it out.
After President Trump officially announced that he'd be launching an investigation into Ilhan Omar's fishy financials, it just so happens that her financials completely changed. Guys, she's not rich at all. She's just like the rest of us common folk. In fact, if you look, her and her husband's combined net worth is less than $90,000 somehow, because right before this, it was at $30 million. But don't worry, she has a reasonable explanation. It was all an accounting error. Oh my gosh, this is how stupid she actually thinks we are. I really hope that we start to see actual justice and people being held accountable, because this is absurd. They are playing in our faces. Of course, she hasn't faced any accountability for her fraudulent winery, you know, the one that just blatantly doesn't exist. Now she's trying to walk back on that too because she realizes she's in hot water. I want to see Ilhan Omar in handcuffs, and then I want to see her deported, which she's always talking about how she'd like to go back to Somalia anyway. I see where she gets it from. This is something that seems to be a common theme amongst her kind. After President Trump officially announced that he'd be launching an investigation.
I'm not gonna lie, I don't know if y'all seen that, but my mouth, low-key, just did something very weird. And I'm not gonna lie, I hope y'all don't even see it. I truly hope y'all don't see that. And y'all probably gonna go back. That was odd. Very odd. But y'all already know, I'm telling y'all got it right here. Ilhan Omar's net worth. 2020 was 65K. 2021 was 65K. 2022, 115K. 2023, 205. You know, start getting a little wild. Cause then 2024, 30 million. Y'all can't tell me that ain't wild. Not to mention, it's just not Ilhan Omar. Husband too. I'm telling y'all. For a fact. I'm telling y'all. One thing about it, just like, you know, this woman said right here, she thinks half of America went to Leering University and has the IQ of a Somali. And me personally, y'all know I'm not trying to bash nobody. I'm not trying to talk crazy. I'm not trying to, you know, but at the same time, being real with y'all and truthful, she does think that, you know, we're dumb. And I literally said that at the beginning of the video. There is no way in hell somebody just about to just believe y'all it was a counting issue. No. You're in deep waters. Now, you know, they obviously she knows now that they truly onto her. At first, you know, it was just this little, oh, I think I can definitely, they don't have, trust and believe. Her saying that, I know for a fact, she knows that it's not going well for her. Make sure y'all hit the like button, hit that subscribe button. Definitely appreciate y'all. Stay tuned for the next banger that's dropping tonight. Catch y'all next one.